everyone, and welcome to the 3 by the Sea Designs podcast. My name is Kim, and I am 1/3 of the 3 by the Sea Designs team, along with my mom, Dreama, and my sister, Becky. We have an online shop where we sell our handmade project bags, stitch markers, and hand-dyed yarn. And this is episode 24, so welcome, and thank you so much for checking it out and for watching. There's a lot of exciting news and a lot of exciting things going on right now. So there's lots to share with you, lots of yarn to show you, and just lots of projects that I'm working on. This is mostly a knitting podcast where we share those things, sometimes some crochet, but mostly knitting, and welcome. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's talk about some shop news. Right now, for the month of February, we are hosting a Valentine's make-along. It's mostly in our private Facebook group called the Mermakers. If you're not part of the Mermakers, there's a link down below in the description box where you can click on and it'll take you directly there so you can request to join. But it's also running on Instagram as well. The hashtag is 3BTSValMal. And so many of you have been participating. It's been so fun to see all of the projects that you're working on. I'm gonna pop some up on the screen here so you can see what everyone is making. And it's just a fun way to interact with each other, and it's not too late to join. It's running through the end of February. So there's a thread in our Mermakers group, a finished objects thread, that you can post your pictures there in the comments with your finished object. Or on Instagram, if you use the hashtag when you post your finished object picture there, use the hashtag, we're gonna pull a prize from each place. So that is still going on and still super fun. I'll show you the socks that I'm working on for that make along. Let's see what else. Last week, we updated our shop with the Memories of Paris colorway, which is a brand new colorway that we just came out with. And you guys absolutely loved it. We've sold out of almost every single base that we added. All of the sock sets, the fingering weight sock sets are gone. There's one DK weight sock set left. This is what the colorway looks like. And it comes with the 2 minis. So there's one of these left, and I think there's only 1 or 2 skeins of the fingering weight single skeins. The sock sets are all gone, but good news, we have more coming. I'll talk about that in just a little while. But we just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who purchased this and who loved it. And it was super popular. We weren't really sure what to expect, but you guys totally blew us away with it. So thank you so much. We also had some Paris themed stitch markers and progress keepers. I'll put a picture up of them here. The pink Eiffel Tower sold out. We had to add more of it. We were waiting on more to come in the mails, so thankfully they got here. So those are back in stock, and we had our French croissant as well as our fresh baked croissant. Those, I believe, are still available in the shop. And then we also updated the shop with some fun St. Patrick's Day stitch markers and progress keepers. I'll put pictures up of them here as well. You guys have been loving those also. The Claudia charm has been super popular, as well as the Irish at Heart charm. Really all of them, Look of the Irish, all of them have been super popular, and they're just so fun to have for your St. Patrick's Day themed projects, or if you just love that holiday, you want to use them in March. They're just really, really fun to have on your crochet and knitting projects. So those are still available. Something fun that is coming to the shop tomorrow, I kind of hinted at it on the last episode, and we've been posting some pictures, is our next mystery sock set. So it will go up on pre-order starting tomorrow, Saturday, February 18th, and the pre-order will run basically until we've sold out, but it will ship at the end of March, So around a month, a little over a month from now, and you will have it for at the end of March, you'll get it. So the theme is Wizard of Oz, and here is an inspiration picture that we decided to use. Now, in the past, if you've ordered our mystery sock sets, you know that our inspiration pictures that we show you look very similar to the colorways. So this one is going to be no different. So if you like the way this inspiration picture looks, then most likely you will like the colorway. Plus it's Wizard of Oz. It's going to come with a 100-gram skein of fingering weight sock yarn, as well as a coordinating 20-gram mini. There will be a stitch marker as well, and it coordinates with it, and it's perfect, absolutely perfect for this theme. The colorway is perfect that we came up with. It's very, it's classic Wizard of Oz with beautiful colors, but it's very vintagey as well. And because it's an old film, it's an old book, it has a very sort of old-fashioned vintage vibe to it. So definitely look at the inspiration picture for color, but also the overall vibe of the picture as well. You can't really go wrong with Wizard of Oz. So, and you know, like I said, if you've seen our mystery sock sets in the past, you know that we usually try to go above and beyond, making it a super special experience. And this one is going to be no different. So we're super excited about those. Those will go on pre-order tomorrow. On the last podcast episode, I showed the brand new pattern that I designed that will be released for sale on February 25th. This is the Memories of Paris Cowl. I showed it in a lot of detail on the last episode. So if you want to see, like, you know, a lot more information about it, go check out episode 23. But we decided that we are going to make kits for pre-order purchase for the cowl. So starting tomorrow, we're going to have 3 different kits available. The kits are all different. It'll come with 1 skein of fingering weight yarn and 1 skein of mohair. The fingering weight yarn is our Sanibel base 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and the mohair will be our Venice base, which is a 50-gram skein of mohair. There's plenty there to use for the cowl. In fact, you only need about a little less, around 20 grams of the mohair, because the mohair is not all the way throughout the cowl. But even if you did use the mohair held double all the way throughout, you would still have enough with 1 50-gram skein. So I don't want anybody to be confused thinking that you need to buy 2 for this particular pattern, because you only need 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, 100 grams of it, and you need 1 skein of a 50-gram mohair. So the kits that we put together are this kit, which is, I used our Memories of Paris colorway, and the mohair is weathered wood. And in the mohair sections, you hold the 2 yarns double. So you're never holding the mohair by itself in this particular project. You're always holding it, you're either holding the fingering weight yarn by itself, or you're holding it with the mohair in certain sections. So let me show you the kits that we have put together. The first kit is the Memories of Paris colorway with weathered wood on mohair. So this will go up together as a kit. The second kit that we have that will be available is a skein of sugar plum and a skein of mohair in our Shiny Bright colorway. And this is the color that I'm using to make a second Memories of Paris cowl. And I'll show you that in just a minute what it looks like. So this is our second kit. And then the last kit that we decided to do is our very first two colorways that we ever made, which was She Sells Seashells. So the main skein will be that, and then the mohair will be the coordinating starfish colorway. These were the very first colors that we ever came up with, and we thought it would be fun to not just bring them back, but to make them available as a kit for the cowl. So these three will be your options for the kits. Okay, so let me show you the second cowl that I have been working on. It's almost finished. I am using our Sugar Plum colorway and the mohair, just like the kit that I just showed. So this is what it is looking like. Let me pull these out a little bit. Look at that mohair, how it changes so much. So it's sort of the opposite of the first cowl that I made, because the main color, Memories of Paris, is a variegated color, and the mohair, which is weathered wood, is more of a tonal, even though it does have some variation in it. But I wanted to see what the cowl would look like as done the opposite way. So the main color on this one is a tonal, which is Sugar Plum, and the mohair that you hold with it is the variegated colorway. And it just turned out so beautifully. This is the very last section that I'm on, which is the lacework ribbing at the bottom. So I just have a few more repeats of that, and then I can do my I-cord bind off at the bottom, and then I'm finished. So I will have this to show in the pattern pictures as well as the other one that I did. So I really have enjoyed working with this yarn. So the base that I used for this is our Coquina base, which is a merino cashmere nylon blend. And the reason why I did this Coquina base for this one and our Sanibel base for the other one is because I wanted to make sure that if you used our Coquina base, you would have enough yarn to finish it, because it has a slightly less yardage than our Coquina. Our Coquina base has a little bit less yardage than our Sanibel base, because it's a little bit plumper of a fingering weight yarn. But I just wanted to make sure, and you do have enough. So you can actually use either one. This one, I mean, they're both really soft, but this one has the cashmere in it, so it's definitely like super soft and plump. Now our kits will just have the Sanibel base with the mohair, but you can purchase a skein of our Coquina base with the cashmere in it. You can purchase one of those separately if you wanted to. And that kind of brings me to my next point. Actually, let me show you these first. This is what Shiny Bright looks like on the mohair. And this is Sugar Plum. What's really cool is that you pretty much use the whole 100 grams of your fingering weight of your main color, which is kind of nice. Since we're doing the pre-orders for the kits, we decided to go ahead and do some additional pre-orders for some of our colorways that have sold out, that we just have not had time to bring back to the shop. And So we know that there will be some of our tonals we are going to be bringing back, as well as, and that will be across all of our bases, except for the Stellina base, because our Stellina base we get from a supplier in England, and we, that's pretty much the only thing that we buy from them. So we're not going to be bringing anything on our Stellina base right now. Hopefully we will be bringing that back later in the year when we have purchased more of the supplier, or more of the yarn from that supplier. But across our fingering weights, the DK, the mohair, on the Surrey, you can purchase the pre-orders for colorways that we're going to be bringing back. There'll be a section called pre-orders. The kits will be there for the cowl, and then anything else that we have decided to bring back to the shop that again has sold out and we just have not had time to dye them, we're gonna go ahead and put them on a pre-order. We're gonna leave the pre-orders open for about a week to 2 weeks. And then we're going to go ahead and dye everything that has been purchased. Because this is sort of in the middle of our spring, we're getting ready to launch our spring update. The pre-orders will be about 3 to 4 weeks out before they'll ship. So just keep that in mind when you are going to do your pre-orders. But it's things that we may not bring back to the shop for a while. So if we add something that you really wanted and just missed out on last time, then I would go ahead and do the pre-order now for them, because I'm not sure when we'll be bringing all of those back to the shop. Memories of Paris, since it's sold out, we are gonna bring back, as well as Weathered Wood and the Seashells colorway, the Starfish colorway, and then there'll be a few others as well. We have to try to limit it somewhat because of time purposes, but you know, like I said, these are things that we haven't been able to bring back for a while. So, and I don't know when we will be bringing them back again. So we thought pre-orders would be a good way to go ahead and get everybody what they wanted. If there are any past colorways that you missed out on, any of them from, you know, last year on when we first started dyeing, let us know in the comments, and if you know, we'll talk about it and try to figure out if we can fit that colorway in to the dye schedule. So let us know if there were any that you were absolutely wanting that you missed out on, and we'll try our best to make it happen. Also, if there's any custom colorways that you wanted where you would like to have 3 or more skeins of them, custom colors as far as any colors from any of our mini sets, or a specific color that we don't bring back for pre-order, just let us know. Now's the time really to kind of go through our old colorways and see, just look at our Instagram feed, you'll see all of our old colorways and see if there were any that you missed out on. The Memories of Cowl pattern will be released next weekend on the 25th, which is a Saturday. So be on the lookout for that as well. And I'm so excited to be releasing my very first cowl design that I've actually written up and I'm going to publish. I so far have gotten great feedback from it. I had a couple of testers, and here are some pictures of their cowls. They both said it was so fun to knit and gave me great feedback, and the pattern is hopefully perfect now. And thank you so much to both of you who tested, and I really appreciate it. It was fun to design and fun to write up the pattern and see it come to life through my testers. So hopefully all of you will love it, and I can't wait to see what color choices everyone makes and see the different cowls that you guys all come up with. I will do a special video, like a short little video next weekend to talk specifically about the cowl and talk about yarns you can use, and I'll go into a lot more detail on the pattern release video. I wanted to show you guys, this is where we keep all of our finished yarn. There's not much in here. I wanted to show you some things that we thought looked good for the Memories of Paris cowl. We have only just a few in stock skeins of our mohair. Now these are separate from the kits that we're going to be doing, but we do have some really pretty mohair that we thought you could make your own kit with, basically. So we have a skein of Nocturne. This is our Sweet Shop colorway. We have a couple of skeins of Ivy. And we have two, you could also use Surrey for the cowl. We have two of those on Sugar Plum. Okay, so this is our Mulled Wine colorway. And we thought it would pair really well with our Chrysanthemum tonal on mohair. If you were looking more for like a tone on tone color kit. We also thought these two would look really pretty together. This is Lagoon and Nocturne. Now remember, these won't be available as kits. These are currently, we have these in stock in the shop if you wanted to go ahead and purchase those to make your cowl with. We have one skein left of Shiny Bright on our fingering weight, and we also have a couple of them on mohair. So we thought if you wanted to do the same colorway together, you could. We also think that Nocturne looks really pretty with Shiny Bright as well. We have a couple of skeins left of our Ivy on our Stellina base. You could pair that with the Ivy on mohair. We have a skein left of White Sands on our Stellina base as well that you could really pair with any of our mohairs. You could use it with Ivy, you could use it with Chrysanthemum. It would look great with any of these choices. We have one skein left of Sprig on fingering weight that you could pair with Ivy also. We have a skein of Beach Hut on our Coquina base. That is a great neutral that you could use with one of our mohairs. One skein of Berry Kiss left that looks really cute with our Sweet Shop mohair. You could use Chrysanthemum with it. You could use Shiny Bright with it. You could use Nocturne with it. There's quite a few options for that one as well. So definitely check out what we have available in the shop if you don't want to wait for a pre-order kit, because we do have quite a few things that you could put together for the kits, for the cowl. One last bit of shop news, I kind of already mentioned it, is that our spring update, our spring collection update will be on Saturday, March 11th. We will have brand new project bags, stitch markers, and brand new yarn colorways. And we're so excited about that. We will do a preview beforehand. I just wanted to kind of put that in everybody's mind. In about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks or so, the preview will come out, and our update is coming very, very soon, and we're super excited about all of it. So that's pretty much it for shop news. Okay, it's time to announce the giveaway winners from the last podcast episode. You guys helped us reach 1,000 subscribers, and we said when we got there, we would do a giveaway. So we dyed these one-of-a-kind sock sets. And we said we would give we would have two separate winners. You would each win a sock set. And to comment on the last episode, which was episode 23, comment who you like as a maker or a podcaster, who your favorite project bag maker is, or stitch markers. And we so enjoyed reading through all of the comments and seeing all of the different makers that are out there. We wanted to support some other small businesses. So if you are looking for a new project bag maker or a new podcaster, a new yarn dyer, go check out the comments from episode 23. There were lots of good ones, some that I had already known, some that we'd never heard of that we're so excited to check out. The comments were just so lovely and so wonderful, and we are so excited to be able to support other makers that are in this knitting and crochet and yarn fiber community. So I'm gonna put up on the screen the two winners and what their comments were. And so congratulations to both of you. I don't have them written down, or I would say them out loud, but I'm gonna put them up on the screen. Please contact us, email us at 3bytheseadesigns@gmail.com with your name and your shipping information, and just let us know that you were the winners. And thank you guys so much for participating and subscribing and liking our videos and commenting. I try so hard to get to all of the comments, and I do read them all, and I try really hard to respond to everyone, or at least to give you a heart to let you know that I loved hearing from you. So thank you guys, and congratulations to our two winners of these super fun sock sets. Now, speaking of this colorway, I have some fun news to share with you. When I showed this colorway to you guys, and I showed it on Facebook and on Instagram as well to let everyone know about the giveaway, everyone's response to it was just overwhelming. Everyone loved it and said, please, please, please bring it to the shop. And I told everyone it was a one-of-a-kind colorway. I did write down the dyes that I used, but I didn't necessarily write down a specific recipe because it was supposed to just be for the giveaway. And you know, when you're doing a sort of one-of-a-kind colorway like that, you don't necessarily, you can kind of just have fun with it, and however it turns out is however it turns out. That's one of the fun things about doing them that way. But we absolutely loved how it turned out, and so did you guys. So you guys asked me if I could recreate it, and I said I would try. So a couple of days ago, I got out all of the dyes that I had used, and I just started playing around with it and seeing what we could come up with. And I'm pretty sure we got it very, very close. So this is the colorway. Now this base is not something that we offer in our shop. This is kind of what we use for our practice yarn. It's from a supplier that is no longer in business, and we had purchased it a couple of years ago. And so anytime we do any type of practicing or things like this, we usually use our practice yarn. But it will look very similar on the bases that we offer in our shop. So we're going to call this colorway Lily Pons because it reminds us so much of the famous water lilies paintings from Claude Monet. I'll put some pictures up here so you can see where we're getting our inspiration for the name. It does look very similar to a peacock colorway, but we have plans to do an actual peacock colorway in the future, maybe over the summer sometime. And we feel like a peacock colorway would have a little bit more blue in it. So since this is more of like a teal color with the purples and the greens, and we just thought it looked so much like water lilies, like a lily pond. So that's what we're going to call it. but it definitely does have like strong peacock vibes, I think. So this is going to be available very soon. We're thinking that we're going to do a pre-order for it. We can make it available across all of our bases. It's not going to be part of our spring collection because we already have the colorways designated for that. So we think since this was just kind of a fun sort of like organic colorway that popped up, we thought a pre-order for this would be perfect. So let me know what you guys think of it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the colors just blended so well together. There's bits of teal and there's pinks in here. There's blues, greens, a couple of different greens. The pinks turned purple where they met the blue. And it's just, it's a very random sort of all over colorway as far as the technique that we used. It will knit up absolutely beautifully. I can't wait to see how this looks knit up. So congratulations to the winners of the YouTube giveaways. And I'm so excited to be able to offer this to you guys in our shop. We will have sock sets available with a Sugar Plum Mini if you would like that, as well as single skeins. And we'll probably have it available on DK and our MCN base, and maybe even our mohair and our Surrey bases as well, because can you imagine this held double with a skein of this on Surrey or mohair? It would just be so beautiful. So let me know what you guys think of our new Lily Pond colorway, and thank you so much for all of the love and the support that you've shown for this colorway. It totally came like out of the blue, and actually those are some of your best and most pretty colorways, are ones that you just don't have any preconceived notions about when you're dyeing it, and you're able to let your just artistic freedom kind of come out. And those are usually the ones that the skeins end up the most beautiful. All right, I do have a few works in progress that I wanted to show you. Do I have any finished objects? I don't think I do, actually. Let me show you a few of my whips, and then I'm going to show you some color swatches that we've done this past week. The first whip that I have was for our Valentine's make-along. I'm almost finished with the second sock, actually. I am using our Be My Valentine Chuck colorway. And the first sock I knit, this is the Chevron Shorties sock pattern that I made available to our Mermakers Facebook group. So if you have joined our Mermakers group, you can download this pattern for free for February. So the chevron colorwork section on the first sock was down here, which is originally how I had it in the pattern, but I thought it would be cute to show what it looks like on the leg as well. So I'm almost finished. I'm at the toe. I just have to do my decreases for the toe section, and then I will be done with these. This is what the other sock looks like in case you have not seen it yet. So I'm super excited. Once I'm finished with this one, then I will go back and do the second sock for this one, and then I'll do the second sock for this one. So you'll get 2 pairs of shorty socks out of our sock weight 100 gram skein. I have made some progress on my Bits and Bobs blanket, my Scrappy Blanket. I've probably knit about, I don't know, 8 inches or so. Let's see. No, maybe like 6 inches. This is where I was last time. Here. So I've done all of this since then. I think I'm gonna go about, I don't know, I talked about this a lot on the last podcast, on how far I wanted it to be. I want it to be a big blanket, but it's also just supposed to be a throw blanket. So I may go like another 6 to 12 inches and then go ahead and finish it, because it is quite long at this point. But I did make quite a bit of progress on this. This is a sort of a mindless knit, but it's also fun because you get to change colors. You hold 2 fingering weight yarns double to make it a DK weight. So it's great, it's soft and squishy. So it's not boring because you're changing colors all the time. If you choose to do it as a scrappy sort of leftovers project, you could, I think Kay Jones, she's the designer of this pattern. She held 1 undyed yarn skein throughout the entire project, and then her second color she switched. So it is striped and scrappy, but I'm just using any 2 colors that I have leftovers of. I'm using a dark and a light held double together just to give it that cool contrast. And I don't know, I love it. I love how it's turning out. So I have made progress on that. I was really hoping to have my love note finished and to be able to wear it on this episode, but I did not. I've been so busy with everything going on, but I did pick up the sleeve on this. I'm finished with the first sleeve. All I have left to do is the second sleeve. This is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits, the Love Note sweater. So I've picked up the stitches for the second sleeve, and I have, I think, 60 rounds on the sleeve. So I've done 10, 20. So I only have 40 rounds left, and then I can do my ribbing and bind off. So I'm so excited to get this finished. The sleeve, I made a little bit longer than what the pattern called for as far as the inches, because I wanted it to kind of come down like almost to my wrist. And I think the pattern, it looks more like a 3/4 sleeve. So that's the only thing I've changed, was making the sleeve a little bit longer. This is held double. It's a fingering weight held double with our Surrey lace weight, our Surrey alpaca silk blend, and that alpaca is so soft. So I'm almost finished with this one, guys. I can't wait for it to be finished so I can wear it. I'm so excited. The last whip I have to show you is actually a new cast on. And okay, so the last time we talked, I was planning to make the Heartsplosion socks, and I was going to use our Candy Hearts minis as the color change throughout the socks. They're a color work sock. You make the color work throughout the entire sock, which was a little intimidating to me. I mean, I have done color work plenty of times, but to hold it all the way throughout the sock kind of scared me. But I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself and try it. But then I started thinking, and I was like, I don't know if I want to use those particular minis for the sock. So I think I started it, and I was trying to do the color work the way that the designer, there's a certain technique she uses called ladder back, where you catch your floats a certain way. And I tried it. She has a tutorial on it and everything, and she explains it very well, but I was like, I just didn't love the method. So I was like, well, I already know how to catch my floats for color work, so I'm just gonna rip it out and do it the way I wanna do it. So when I ripped out the originals, that's when I started questioning my yarn choice. So the main color that I'm using is this super dark, I mean, it's black with some purple in it. I don't know if the purple shows up, but it's pretty much black. This is my main color. And the contrast color I'm using is by a dyer called Siobhan's Crafts. She lives in the UK. The colorway is called Pure Joy. And it's an 85% superwash Polworth, 15% nylon blend. Siobhan's Crafts is known for her bright, like neon-y colors. This is the colorway. How gorgeous is that? I broke these up into two 50-gram balls because I was gonna knit them to it like at the same time, like concurrently. I guess that would be what you would call it. So I have two of them. And here is the sock so far. Let's see if I can get it to, this is the front. And look how that neon just sort of pops against the black. It looks so fun and like 80s. Becky and I were both like, it looks like something you would have worn when we were kids. I just absolutely love it. So I've made some modifications to the pattern because the pattern, you do this heart color work all throughout the whole sock. But I decided to do 2 repeats of it and then stop because I didn't want to have to do the color work while I was doing my gusset decreases. But I thought it would be fun to have the contrast color as my heel. So that is one of the modifications that I've made. The pattern is, the chart is perfect. Like she did a great job on charting out the color work even through the gusset, but I just wanted it to kind of pop at the top, like on the leg. And then I'm gonna keep going with the black yarn, and then towards the toe, when I've gotten all the way down the foot towards the toe, I'm gonna do one more repeat of the heart section, and then I will make the toe in the black yarn. So these are so fun. The color work is not hard to do at all. I'm really enjoying it, but it takes some concentration because you're following a color work chart all throughout. So I mean, I highly recommend the pattern. The pattern is by Ellyndria Knits. Her name is Jennifer. It's the Heartsplosion socks, and she has some great sock patterns. So definitely go check out her patterns. And she's also on Instagram, and she has some YouTube video tutorials on how to do color work and certain things with her patterns. One of the cool things that she recommended that I actually did was when you're knitting color work on a sock, to turn the sock inside out and knit it that way. You still knit the exact same way, but you have your sock, let's see if I can get it to be inside out. You have your sock turned this way. Now, while I was doing the heel, obviously I didn't have it this way. It was just for the color work. But you have it turned this way, and you knit the exact same way, but your floats are on the outside. And that is just so that you make sure that you're not doing your floats too tightly, and so that they're nice and stretchy on the sock, if that makes sense. She has some great tutorials on Instagram and YouTube if you want to check them out on how she does this. So that's the Heartsplosion socks, and my only new cast on as of right now. All right, so the last thing I wanted to show you are some new color swatches that we have been doing. This is our color swatch wall that we call it. Most of you guys know, because I've talked about it before, every time we get a new color, a new dye color, we like to swatch it using what we call a depth of shade swatch. Now, this was not an idea that we came up with. We took an online course from Sweet Georgia, and I will link her website below. She's a yarn dyer. She also has a vlog and a blog as well, and talks a lot about techniques for yarn dyeing, but you can actually take a course where she shows you more of the like scientific things behind yarn dyeing, as far as measurements and shades and how to get different depth of shade from a dye. So we like to do a swatch. You can do any depth of shade that you want to. We usually pick 5 different shades, and so we break the dye color up into 5 different colors essentially. I'll pop in some video here and some pictures of how to do the depth of shade, and or just us working on it, how to break down the colors. And I actually did a video, I don't know, a few months ago, back last year, where I showed a little bit in more detail of how we do the swatches. But so basically what you do is you take one color, one dye, and you swatch for the different shades. So this colorway is golden brown. We thought that one turned out beautifully. And the reason why we do this is so we have a great color palette to choose from when we are making our colorways. It's great for tonals if you're trying to match something specific to a colorway that you already have, or it's just great for coming up with new colorways, or if we want to match a colorway to a specific project bag that we're coming out with, that kind of stuff. This one is honey mustard. We thought that looked just like honey mustard. This one is called midnight blue. This one is extreme blue. This is the one that I posted this in the Mermakers Facebook group, and everyone loved that blue color. And it is super extreme, very, very bright, especially that very last, that darkest depth of shade that we did. So that's extreme blue. We have olive brown. And these dye, the names that I'm telling you are the names of the dye. Most of the dyes are from Dharma. Some of them are also jacquard. This is one that we mixed 2 different colors. We mixed Aztec Gold and Fawn. Came up with this beautiful sort of straw color. This one is Sapphire Blue. We have Fire Red. And they make a great fade also. Sunflower Yellow. Monarch Orange. We love this one. Moss Green. Whoops. Russet. And this one is called Bubblegum. How fun are those? So we have all of those to add to our swatch wall. We also have 3 other ones that we did yesterday, and they just haven't finished. Well, they're finished. I just haven't soaked them and rinsed them out yet to dry. But I'll pop a picture up of them here. It was lilac, ballerina pink, and I think wisteria were the colors that we swatched yesterday. So we wanted to try some new pinks and purples. We have so many dyes that we just haven't swatched yet. So every time we get a little bit of extra time, because the process of swatching them does take pretty much the whole day from start to finish. So anytime we get a little bit of extra time, we like to swatch. And these are on 10-gram minis. If you're ever interested in doing this for yourself, we just swatch them on the minis so they don't take up a lot of room, but it gives you a clear picture of what the different shades look like. So, and check out Sweet Georgia, her online course where she shows you how to dye yarn and the scientific process. The math, it's a lot of math and measurements, and Becky always says, I feel like I'm in a science lab when we're in here, and it is, it's very, very sciencey and very lab oriented. It's kind of science and art meshing together, which is really, really fun. I feel like having a background in science, that's what my degree is in, is a lot of, I took a lot of courses in college that had labs, like chemistry labs with them. And I feel like having that background is very helpful for this. I was also a teacher, a science teacher for 5 years before I started doing this full time. And I feel like that also was very helpful in all of this. So who knew this, that would be a helpful thing. I never thought when I was in college that I would end up being a yarn dyer, but here we are. All right, guys, I think that is it for today's episode. It was a lot of information. So thank you for watching till the very end. Congratulations to our 2 giveaway winners. Please contact us through our email with your contact information. Know that we will never reach out to you. There's so many scammers out there trying to get your information from you. So we will never contact you and ask you for your information. We always wait for the winners to contact us. That way you know you're contacting the right person, and we know we're contacting back to the right person. Let us know if you have any questions. We are always here to help as best that we can. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.